Good afternoon, Charity. How are you today?
I'm well. How are you?
Great. Thank you so much for jumping on with me today. I truly appreciate your flexibility and professionalism. So thank you for that. We had a few minutes to chat a little bit about your experience. You definitely are very skilled in the HR world and have a good experience. I see that your last position, you're about 3 years experience with UPS. So I'm going to go ahead and give you the floor here. Tell me all about what you did at UPS.
Okay, thank you so much. So at UPS, my primary task and job responsibility was for recruiting. So for each position within the company, within the warehouse, I was responsible for recruiting, starting with the inside manual labor staffing to load the trucks, drivers to drive the trucks, as well as supervisors, managers, engineering for our planning department, and as well as my own staff. I recruited for my own HR generalists that were work under and report to me, as well as interns throughout my season, my peak season, which was like our, temporary where the volume and fluctuates from there. I also did a little bit of with working with managers for reviews, leave of absences, a little payroll there anytime people had issues with their payroll when there were new hires and things like that. But mainly just recruiting
All
and
right.
staffing.
So was it the full cycle recruiting from start to finish, or does someone else finish it once you recruited?
No, it was full cycle. So I would create the requisitions, make sure it's posted on our website, use various outlets to recruit from schools. Sometime with Indeed, we use that one as well. And I would interview. I would do the onboarding as well as the first day orientation so they knew what to expect from an HR standpoint and a company standpoint. And then I would pass them off to the managers.
Okay, great. And so you did this for how many properties?
So originally, when I got hired with them, I was only over the Orlando area, and in the Orlando area, it included three buildings. So the Longwood facility, the Orlando facility, and also the Davenport facility. But then when I was promoted to the staffing coordinator, I was over the entire state of Florida. So I managed the recruiting and just from a over level for my HR generalist under me, making sure they met their recruitment numbers and they kept their building staff. And then from there, just mainly also hiring from just managers. I would be full responsible for the full-time managers as well as my own staff recruiting for that.
Okay. And have you used any HR metrics or client scorecards to measure and improve employee engagement?
Yes. So we had scorecards that we were responsible for completing on a weekly basis. I would take that information, put it together and make a report on a monthly basis. I would also use reporting through, we had automated on employment through Equifax to make sure we're meeting, the standards and following all the requirements for, the racial ethnicities that are being hired and things like that.
Okay, great. And so in your previous role, how did you ensure that the department stayed within the allocated budget? Did you have to use any type of control measures?
Our planning department handled that. The planning and engineering, they always made sure, like they set the numbers for us. And so we just made sure that we stayed within that. So I really wasn't responsible for putting those reports together from that aspect, but just making sure that we maintained the staffing and stayed within the budget. So to make sure that, we weren't overstaffed. So we would have mainly I would have weekly meetings with my center managers to say, okay, do we need to, where are we with our staffing? How many hours are we looking at? What's going on? Do we need to put staffing, hiring on a hold, or are you working everybody to make sure that they just weren't hiring people and not working their staff to keep the costs down?
Okay, wonderful. Um, and so, I mean, you're definitely absolutely qualified for the position based on your skill set. Very impressed with your skills regarding, of course, HR, recruiting, and such. But I also see that you have some leadership experience, financial experience. Let's see here. And then what about your software? So tell me a little bit about what softwares you've used in the past.
So in the past, I've used the automated employment. I've used QuickBooks. I have used various HRIS systems from the hiring standpoint to keep track of all the tracking and the reporting aspect. Equifax solutions for the I-9 for the onboarding. Of course, all of Microsoft and Google Suites and Zoom and all of that good stuff, and Adobe as well. And proficient in Excel. Excel and reports are like my big thing.
Okay, well, wonderful. Well, I'm going to go ahead and end this part of the recording in just a moment, but I always love to end, especially it's Friday, let's talk about something fun. Would you like to share a fun fact about yourself?
A fun fact, which is probably just a weird fact, and a lot of people just think it's just crazy. I don't eat or drink anything red. So I don't know why. It's always been like that.
Red?
Red, nothing red at all. Mm-hmm.
Okay, well, that's good. Actually, well, like maybe apples, right? They're red.
No.
Okay, well, that is fun. Thank you for making me laugh there for a minute. All right, Terry, don't hang up. We got a few more things to chat about. Thanks.
Okay, thank you.